Hi guys, good morning. Hello. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me share the screen. Able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me log into the server. Login. Okay. So first of all, we have seen the how to run the scripting jobs. Like if you want to write any script, either it is in a Windows machine or in the Linux machine, how you want to run it. So we can run by using the execute shell. Second thing is project. It may be any kind of a project you are working. So first thing is we need to know about your build tool. What is your build tool? Second is your build steps. Okay. So in that case, in our case, for example, if you are working in the Java based project, so Maven is our build tool and MVN our build steps. Okay. So if you're working on any project, maybe not only the Java, if you're working on any project, first of all, we should know about the build tool. What are the build steps? As a DevOps engineer, so we need to make the build success. Okay. So in order to make the build success, what are the different developers are checking the code? Check out the code. So we need to integrate the SCM, source code management, into Jenkins. From the Jenkins, we need to perform the build activities. Okay. So deployment activities will take care in the later classes. So first of all, we are going to work on the build one. So what is meant by build? Entire developers is writing any type of a programming language. So we need to compile entire thing and we need to make the package into a single package. We are going to bind the entire thing into single packages. So the extension of the package may be vary for each type of a project. Java, it is, in our case, it is a var. Okay. So like that, we need to go with the build tools. Okay. So for example, if you see our examples, Java project. So if you go to the configure option, we have taken the source code. Okay. In our top level Maven calculus we have taken. So the goals we have taken. So once you see this one, take any build console output. If you come at the bottom, okay. So we are going to make the whole thing into a package wise. Okay. So this is the way we can build our project. So first of all, we need to understand build a tool and build steps. So if you don't know the build a tool and build steps, we can ask the developers what type of a project it is, what is the build tool you are using. Can you tell me what are the build steps you are performing in a local machine? So that same operations I can perform in the Jenkins side also. Okay. So any errors, any issues. Okay. So if you're working on the Java based project, so main file we need to refer about the pom.xml. So pom.xml is a project object model. Definition of the PAOM is project object model. So it contains the complete dependencies of your project. So what type of project require Spring related, Spring related, Maven related, anything dependencies which are required for project, all the dependencies with specific versions. Okay, all the things we are going to maintain in the pom.xml. So pom.xml is very important file in the Java side. So wherever the main pom.xml is there, from there only we need to perform the build steps. So it will read the entire hierarchy of the pom.xml, and in the pom.xml, what is your project name, what is the extension of the package you required, and what are the dependencies which are required for the project. Okay, so if you want to integrate with any third-party things, okay, so all the integrations, everything we are going to perform in the pom.xml. Okay, so if you are referring any dependencies, any issue comes in the building activities. So if it is a compile issues, we can tell to the developer. If you don't, it is not related to the compile issues, any package is missing, any version got deprecated, means current version like 4.1 we are using it. So 4.1 version is got deprecated. So if it is deprecated, is nothing but some of the functionality will not with the deprecated versions. So we need to intimate the developer that. So we are getting the deprecated messages. You can go with the higher version of the versions in the pom.xml. Okay. So any issues we can connect with the developer and we can sort out the issues. And finally, we have to make the build success. Okay. So it is a one time of activity. All the things like if you are going to perform any kind of activity, so it's a one time of activity. So next time onwards, the developer will update the code. So we need to run the same kind of a job multiple times. Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, we need to configure everything is a one time of activity. Okay. So once this is performed, we can go with upstreams and downstream projects. Okay, what is meant by upstream and downstream projects is nothing but, so we have the dependency jobs are there. Okay, so B has to run after the success of A job. C has to run after the success of B job. D has to run the job after the successful run of the E job, C job. So E has to run after the successful job of the D job. So those type of things we can do with the help of upstream and downstream project. So it depends upon you. So if you want to put this type of hierarchy, so this type of hierarchy, we need to have it. Already we have seen the example of these things. Okay. So next thing is we can apply the roles, user level roles. Like you, if you want to restrict the users, so I want to restrict the users to give the entire project level access and jobs level access. Okay, so entire project level access and job level access, we can restrict everything we can do with roles concept. Okay, so next thing is master and slave. What is mean by master and slave? So master and slave is nothing but, so the number of jobs which are running in the master. So as the number of jobs are increasing in the master machine, okay, so where Jenkins got installed, so this server we are going to call it as a master machine. Okay, so this master machine will have a lots of jobs are running on it. To decrease some load on the master machine, what will happen? Some of the jobs we can run in another machine. So that machine we are going to call it as a slave machine, and we are not going to install any Jenkins in the slave machine. Just we will do the integration from Jenkins master to the slave. Okay, and we can run some jobs on slave machine. Okay, so to decrease some burden in the master machine, so we are segregating or we are running some jobs on the slave machine, like how to set up the slave machine in master. So we have seen in the last classes. Okay, so these are the things we have seen till now. And if you are expecting any parameters, okay, so if you are expecting any input from the end user, like I want to deploy the particular application into the particular environment, so we can go with build with parameters option. Already we have seen this example. Okay, so if you want to go with the build with parameters option, next. Okay, so here the project is parameter is there. Just take this, add a parameter, go for any parameter like environment, we can choose it. So dev, SAT, UAT, prod, like that. Apply, save it. Okay, so now previously we have the option like build now option is there. Now we can go with build with parameters. Means if you are expecting some input from the end user, so instead of hard coding in the pipeline jobs, we can go with build with parameters. Okay, just configure option here. So the project is parameter is there. So if you go for the choice parameter, the name of the variable we can define here. So here we can go with multiple environments. Okay, like this. Okay. Apply, save it. Okay, so click on the build with parameters. So you can select any environment, UAT if you want to run it, SAT you want to run it, dev you want to run it. So just click on the build now. So if you want to capture this value, we need to go to the build steps, execution. Okay, so echo, the environment is, we can capture by what are the environment variable name we are using here. Same variable name we need to use it. If it is a case sensitive or insensitive, so we can go with environment variables. Okay, just apply it and save it. Next, build with parameters. You can select anything prod, let's build the prod. Okay, so first output, click on the console output. Okay, so like that, we can go with string based one, parameter based one. We can go with multiple things, not only the single one, drop down based one. We can go with multiple things, add parameter if you want to go with the string parameter. Okay. Okay, default values. Okay, if you don't provide any value, default value will be taken. Okay, so keep on adding the parameters. One is drop down based, one is string based. Okay, so if you don't provide anything, default value. Okay, so if you select SAT means the IP address is UAT. We have to change the values. Okay, so like that, if you want to having any input from the end user, so while running the job, so instead of passing the parameters, we can pass the dynamic parameters. So that can be done by using the build with parameters. Okay, so this logical part, these variables we can hard code here, and the what are the selected values are there. So we can capture the values. inside your script by using the dollar symbol and the name of the variable. Okay, so this is the one way we can do it. And next, one more important concept here is pipelines. Okay, so pipelines is very important thing. So in the real-time scenario or in the interview perspective, they will ask about the pipelines. So there are two types of pipelines are there. So one is declarative. Another one is scripted. Okay, so declarative pipeline is a combination of Linux and shell scripting only. Okay, so if you want to perform any Linux command and scripting commands, all the things we can organize in the declarative pipeline. So we have the syntax for it. So we need to follow that syntax and we can write the logical part here. And here in the declarative pipeline, if you are choosing the declarative pipeline, we don't have any much more complexities there. So pipeline is nothing but connecting to the entire flow. Okay, so both the things, declarative and scripted pipeline, we can go with the entire flow. Okay, so like check out the code, build the code, deploy the code, monitor or any integrations. Okay, all the activities we can performing in the pipeline jobs. Okay, so in any interview, without if you're going for any interview at the Jenkins end, they will ask about the pipelines. So which type of pipeline user? Can you tell me the types of pipelines? Okay, so declarative pipeline, scripted pipeline, two things are there. So declarative pipeline is a combination of scripting only, Linux and shell scripting. So there will be certain syntax will be there. So entire flow, like project entire flow, we can do with the declarative pipeline, or we can go with scripted pipeline. So when it comes to the scripted pipeline, so the same thing will be there, syntax and everything will be there, but here they can go with Groovy script and they will tell about the shared libraries. Okay, so when it comes to the declarative pipeline, what is declarative pipeline? Okay, so once it comes to the, here we have already the pipeline. Okay, so if anybody new person is there, so just click on the declarative. Click on the pipeline. Okay. Okay, so go to the pipeline thing. So here we have to write the script. Okay, so this script writing is very important. So if you don't know the syntax and everything, so we can go with something. Okay, so we can copy this. So this thing they will ask in the interview perspective, can you write the syntax for the pipeline? Okay, so pipeline, agent, stages, stage, steps. At the stages, we don't have the open bracket and closure bracket, and steps also we don't have the open bracket and closure. Only at the stage only we have the open bracket and closure bracket. So if you want to write one more logic, agent is nothing but, so if you are choosing any agent, if you want to run a particular slave machine, so that slave machine agent name we need to specify. Means this pipeline has to be run in a particular node machine, we can go with anything. So if you are putting means which is available thing, we can go with a specific. What are the available master slave machine which is available, it will run automatically. Okay, so if you want to go with a specific one, we can go with a specific. Okay, so next thing is the stages, stage and steps will be there. So this is the syntax for your declarative pipeline or scripted pipeline. Both are same only, but Groovy script, some complexity will be there with scripted. So if you want to write the logical part, like check out the code, I need to do it. So what are the stages is there? So what are the stages there? So open bracket and close bracket, where it is there, take the stage, add one more line. So how many logical part you want to write it? So we can keep on adding it. Okay. So the stage name, what you want to write it, we can write it. I want to check out the code. Okay. So we need to know the commands here, syntax, we need to know it. So if you want to check out the code, so we need to use the git and we need to specify the git URL. Okay, so if you perform any shell scripting, So we need to use sh, that script command we need to perform it. So if you want to clean your workspace, there is a function to clean your workspace. Okay, so how all these things will get it? How do I know it? So which one I need to go with based upon the requirement? Okay, so there is a concept called here pipeline syntax is there. So you can open the pipeline syntax in the new tab. So these are the various options which is available to define your things in your pipeline jobs. Okay, so if you want to go with environment variables, so we need to use with environment keyword. So it generate the pipeline script. This is the thing. If you want to declare any environment variables with environment keyword, we need to use it. Okay, if you want to define your own environment variables. Okay, so next, if you want to clean your workspace, suppose we want to clean workspace. Okay, so generate pipeline script. So if you want to clean your workspace, so we have to use syntax like this. First line. Every time I want to clean my workspace, so I don't know how to clean the workspace, you need to go with clean workspace. So this is a one type of a stage. So inside the steps, we can write any type of a logic. So based upon the requirement what they are asking, we need to go with one by one. Okay, so next thing is you can take anything. If you want to catch any error, the build is failed. What is failure happen? What is the status success? So just click on the generate. So we can do the catch error. We need to, if you want to catch any errors, you can catch the errors by using the catch error mechanism in the open bracket. So we can write the logical part here in the catch error. Okay, so particular stage while you're writing any step is giving any error, syntax errors, anything. So if you want to catch the errors, so we need to go with the catch error. Same thing, we have a multiple things are there. Okay, so if you want to work with Git, okay, we can use Git is the syntax like that. We can go with. I want to check out the code. Git single quotes that URL. Okay, so we can take this code. Git, we need to use it. So we don't know how to clone your project. So if it is a Git based project, so we have to use Git append it, and that URL we need to specify it. Okay, so next thing is if you want to run any shell scripting, we need to go here, check for the shell scripting. Okay, so here you can see the shell script generates. Okay, so they're telling sh double quotes. Okay, here. Okay, so here like that. Hello world, clean workspace. I'm doing it. So check out I'm doing. I want to clean the project. MVN clean. Same thing. I want to compile the project. I want to test the project. I want to make the packaging. Like that. So it looks like same thing we need to write in the copy it. Go to here. Paste the everything. Okay. So like that we need to write the entire script. Apply, save it. Click on build now. Okay, it got failed. We need to check the syntax. Something is missing, open bracket and close the bracket. Pipeline, okay. extra thing, got it. Okay. Stages. Okay, you can check like this. Stage okay, this stage is okay, this stage is okay. So this stage is okay. So this stage is okay. So now stages is there, good. If you want to go with pipeline, we don't have the pipeline. So control on, control C. Go to the pipeline job, configure it. Apply, save it. Click on below. So again, it got failed. Stage clean. Apply, save it. Below. Okay. So if you see here, the pipeline jobs looks like real-time scenario also. It looks like these things only. So we can maintain n number of stages here. So the stages will be like, you can write a logical part inside the stages. It may be any type of a thing. It may be a running the test case, clearing the workspace, anything they may ask it. So it looks like the same thing only. You can check the logs of each and every activity. Okay. So this is the way we can write the declarative pipeline. Stages. So if somebody asked about the thing, so just write the pipeline first, open bracket. Okay. So next agent, any. So next stages, stage. Okay. Check out something, you can write it. Next steps. Okay. So like that, we need to write it. This is the basic syntax for writing anything. So if you want to write anything, you have to go to the stages. You can take the stage and copy paste it like that. So in the interview perspective, they will ask directly to write your complete declarative pipeline syntax completely. They will write it. Can you write the steps for how we are going to write your declarative pipeline? Any pipeline they will ask it. So just we need to go with the pipeline, agent, stages, stage, steps. Okay. So usually people will forget the steps directly. They will go with stage and they will write the syntax. Okay. Stages will be the multiple stages. What stage you want to write it? Inside the steps, here we need to write our logical part. One by one, we can go and write it. So if you don't know the based upon the things they have asked it, so if you want to use the things, you can go it like this. So if you want to go with which one, like parallel, that is okay. So there is a predefined functions are there. So this function will help us to do any kind of activity. Like if you want to work with Git, so we need to append the, how we are appending the Git here. Same thing for any kind of activity you want to check if the file exists or not. So just will be the file exist name. How we are implementing the Git, same thing. If you want to check for the file exist, we can go with file exist. So all these things, it can be used under the declarative pipeline. If it is a Gradle means we can use a Gradle. So if you want to bind any credentials, we can go with credentials. Okay. So if you don't know how to use this one, we can get a lot of examples. Okay. Like this. Okay. So with credentials is the function name. So here we can pass a number of things, key and value. Okay. They are going with a parallel also. Again, shell scripting. So like that, we can go with a number of things. Okay. So if you go for the declarative pipeline, so there are three different functions are available. So if you don't know how to use that function, so from the snippet generator, so we can go it. Okay. So if you want to refer for the global variables, we can use like this. Okay. So if you want to refer any examples also, we can refer from the example references. Okay. So next one is a very important thing, is a scripted one. Declarative pipeline, it's a combination of stages and the steps. Inside the step, we can write the logical part. What are the logical required? If you want to clone your project, if you want to run a shell scripting, if you want to build your job, okay, all the things we can write it. Okay, so all these predefined things we can include it. And scripted pipeline also we can include it. And one more thing with the scripted pipeline is they are dealing with Groovy script. Okay, so Groovy script and shared library they will ask. So what is meant by Groovy script and shared library is nothing but, so they will write one file. It contains logical part. So instead of writing the logical part in a Jenkins file or declarative pipeline, so they will go with one more option called scripted one. So this file is, it contains a logical part. So the extension of the file is .groovy. Okay, so here most of the things they will work on the functions. Like they will define the function name like def function name, and they will write logical part here. Suppose I want to take the input from the user, name equal to some text, echo name, like this. So this is a one type of function. So I want to print a hello message, hello name, hello, welcome to, welcome to, welcome to. So I want to display that message. So I don't want to go with a hard-coded one. I can go with a functions. So that function names we can def with def keyword. That function name, this logical part they can write in the Groovy script with test.groovy or any name they will write the Groovy. So if you want to include this script inside your file or a scripted thing, so we have to go with this one. We can consider as a library. Okay. So what is meant by shared library is nothing but, so what is the logical part which is required for all the projects? Okay, so instead of writing the same kind of a logic, so we will define the logic element file. So that file we are going to call as a library, and at the library we will maintain it. That library will include in the job. Okay, so what are the function name, what are the file name is there? Just we'll call this function name, and what are the parameters are very required? We are passing dynamically through scripts. Okay, so here mainly we have the functions are there. So instead of, if you want to connect to the any server, okay, so only we require the host name of the server. Instead of writing the commands, so we are going to define one function to connect to the servers. So only it is expecting the server name or the host name dynamically. So that we are going to pass as a parameter here to the function. Okay, so this type of a logical part we can include in the scripted things. Okay, so if you see here, okay, and one more thing. So if you want to include the declarative pipeline, two ways we can do it. So one through, we can directly write the script here, or we can maintain the enter the script in the Jenkins file. Okay, so name of the file should be same thing. J should be captain. We will also maintain the Jenkins file. In this file also we can write our declarative or scripted syntax. Okay, so if you go for the declarative or anything, so if you see here, suppose this is my project. So in this project also I can maintain my Jenkins file. So if you open the Jenkins file, same kind of logic will be there. So you can take that logic here. Pipeline, agent, stages, stage, steps. Okay. Like that. Okay. So we can copy this, delete it. Once you tested it, we can paste it. Okay. Check out in the code, cleaning, compiling, package, everything we can mark as things. We can commit the changes. So instead of opening the Jenkins jobs every time and updating the code, so I can directly update the code in the Jenkins file only. Okay. So if you want to refer it, so here we can have the pipeline script or pipeline script from SCM is there. SCM is nothing but from source code management. I want to call the pipeline script. SCM is mine is Git. So we can take the code of the Git repository URL. We can pass it. And here you can say refer from the master branch. So script path of the Jenkins file. Where is your Jenkins script path? So at the root folder only it is there. So it is okay. If it is there inside your folder, so we need to write the entire path of your Jenkins file. So here also we can apply the thing, save it, and we can click on build now. Okay. So instead of writing the script every time come here, updating and checking anything missing or not. So we can directly write in the file itself. Okay, you can see. Okay, so like that pipeline is nothing but maintaining the different kind of stages, and each stage you can write your own logic. It may be any kind of a logic it is. Okay, keep on increasing the stages. One is a build step or cleaning the workspace, anything it may be. So you can write this logical part, we need to write it. Okay, this thing. So when it comes to the same thing, if you go for the scripted one. Okay, so if you see, we can see lots of. So this is one of the example for your scripted one. So if you go to the bears or okay, you can see one script name. Say hello.groovy is one of the .groovy file is there. So whatever the say hello is their name. So same with name only we can call it. Okay. So here you can see user bin environment Groovy script, they are maintaining it. So extension of the file is Groovy and the file name is say hello.groovy. So if you want to call this file inside your script, so we can call with the help of this name only, say hello. Okay, say hello, and they are expecting call is nothing but a function. So default function for all the Groovy script is def call. Def is the function name. If you want to define any function names, we can use the def. And call is the default mechanism, default one. So string, I'm taking one name. So human I'm taking. So dynamically I want to print the name. So if you don't print, it will, if you are not passing any value, so the default value human will be passed. Hello human. So this is one type of a function. So the logical part of the function, it depends upon you, how much logical you want to write it. So all the logical, we can define one function and call is the default one. Here we can write our logic. So to understand, don't want to go with the complexity. So to understand the simple, how it Groovy scripts looks like. So you can take any variable, any file. Okay. So that file name with having extensions Groovy. Okay. So next say hello is the Groovy script file name. And if you want to call this Groovy script, so in the Jenkins file, what we will use? What is the file name you are using? That file name we are passing, and what is the parameters expecting? It is just expecting dev. So say hello is the function file name it is looking for. It looks that file name and it is passing this argument to the file name. Okay. So instead of writing the complete logical of the function, we will write the function separately and we will call the functions in the script like this. Okay. So if you want to define your own functions, we can put the script keyword. So dev function name, this is a class name, passing that with values. Okay. So this is the way. Okay. So if you see here, pipeline live debugger, if you go to the vars, say hello.groovy is the file name. What is the file name is there? So this will become as a function here. So with that function name only, we can write the thing. Okay. So if you want to include the same thing, here we can put say hello. Okay. What is the file name is there? That file name, say hello. And inside this, it is expecting string name we are expecting. So what is the name you want to pass dynamically? So DevOps, if you want to pass it. So it will execute the logical part inside it. Hello, DevOps, it should come. Okay. So .groovy script files, they will define the functions, n number of functions, they will write it. So what is the function name is nothing but it's a file name. Okay. So if you want to call these things in our Jenkins thing, so go to the dashboard. First of all, we need to go to the manage Jenkins. Go to the configure system. Which library you want to include it? This library, if you want to include it, so we need to include this library. So name of the library, we can put any name. Go to the configure system. So here, global pipeline libraries will be there. Add library. Okay. So library name is nothing but we can put any library name. Default version is nothing but which branch you are calling. Suppose we are calling the master branch means, so we can put the master branch. Okay. So next, git project repository URL. We can take the project repository URL. Okay. So just apply save. Okay. So next new item. Scripted pipeline. Go to with the pipeline. Pipeline script for SCM. Git, we can take it. And the project code, we can take it here. Okay. So master and Jenkins file it is calling. So here, if you go for the Jenkins file, here we can have calling the same say hello function name, file name it is look for and we are passing the dynamic value to that one. Okay, so just apply, save it, click on below. Okay, it got filled, so we need to check it why it got filled. Seeing that loading libraries failed. What is the library name using? Okay, library, my library we are using. Okay, we can go to the Jenkins. Apply save. Try one more time. Okay, so this time it got success. Check on the console output. Okay, you can see. Okay, so say hello.groovy is calling the function. So say hello in that function, we are calling passing the parameter. You can see say hello dev. So say hello, what it is referring it. Okay, so if you want to see the output, hello. So if you want to update this one, echo, welcome to DevOps, Mr. Okay, so this message we are updating with the name, commit changes. Okay, so here we have one more important thing is, so whatever the library name we are using the same library name, so we need to include in our configure system. Just click on the below. Okay, so third build is success. Go to the console output. Okay, so what are the logical part they are writing? So they will write inside the this Groovy script, inside the function they will write the logic. So same logic, instead of writing the script everything, what we can do, so we can write the logical in the Groovy script file. This file we are going to call it, and what is the parameters are expecting, that parameters we pass dynamically through script. Okay, so that is the concept of scripted pipeline. Scripted pipeline contains the variables and functions are there. So the library which we are defining it like, so at the rate of library, the library name we can include it. And this one is called as the shared library. We can define one library, one Groovy script, that Groovy script we can call here. Okay, so that is the example of scripted. Okay, so declarative pipeline is very easy when compared to the scripted pipelines. So scripted pipelines will contain a little bit complexity like defining the functions. Okay, defining the multiple functions, variables definitions, we need to define it. All the things we need to work on it. Okay, so if you want to define any variables, okay, like this. Class, we will define it inside the class. They can create a function for it. Means object they will create, from the object they will call the variables. Okay, so it's like a oops concept will be involved in the Groovy script, like scripted pipelines. So a little bit focused and little bit complexity with the scripted one. So already the existed pipeline, if you are working, it's very easy. If you are writing from the scratch, it will be a little bit difficult. Tricky. Okay, that's it. Any doubts, any questions, guys? Okay. So tomorrow we are left with two more topics in the Jenkins side. So we are going to cover those two topics. Okay. So once we're done, we will finish the Jenkins. Okay. Try to explore more examples on the declarative and scripted, that will be helpful. Okay. Chalo, bye guys.